Okay, let me move on to the last book that I've kind of read in May, but I've been like reading multiple iterations of it throughout June as well, and it's kind of driving me insane a little bit.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's H.P. Lovecraft, so it's what it does to you. So I read The Shadow Over Innsmouth. That's Innsmouth like an N, like INNS mouth.
Oh, part one?
No, 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 no. That's the other version. I'll get into that. You'll know when you see it.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
I know
Okay.
exactly what you're
Yep.
talking
Go ahead
about.
and share that screen.
Yeah, Kenny needs to see this.
Okay, so I read the manga adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's The Shadow Over Innsmouth
Whoa.
by Gou Tanabe, who, if you've seen the show before, you know what's up. Gou Tanabe is the man when it comes to H.P. Lovecraft adaptations. The art is perfect. The art is perfect in this book.
So this is just an H.P. Lovecraft book that's adapted into an illustrated book by this guy?
Into a manga, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's tons of manga on Hoopla. You have to read it right to left.
Yeah.
It's backwards.
It gives
and
you this warning
right, yeah.
here.
You say, yeah, it tells you. It tells you this
Yeah.
is read right to left.
That's crazy.
Dude, it is. This book is so good, and here's how good it is. This book was so good that I also read the American adaptation, or just an American team adapted the story to their own comic book into a 3-part series. Pretty good. Not as good as this, I don't think. I think this book captures the inner thoughts of the main character and his situation a lot better. And there's like way more like action and tension, it feels like, in this one. And like, look at that cover, man. I mean,
I'm having a hard time looking at it.
it
Yeah,
is.
like,
Go ahead, you can
I
stop
can't
sharing.
tell
I'm
where
not
his
sure
mouth-
what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
That's the leader of the town.
I know, but that doesn't help me.
So after I read the American adaptation, I ended up getting the audiobook as well for Shadow Over Innsmouth
On Hoopla?
on Hoopla. And then I ended up getting the ebook as well, so I could read the ebook on Hoopla as well.
Awesome.
And now I'm listening to an audiobook on Hoopla. H.P.
Wow.
Lovecraft. Let me get the exact title of it here because it's like an omnibus sort of situation. It is H.P. Lovecraft, The Complete Fiction Omnibus Collection. I got the second one. I didn't get volume 1. I got the Omnibus 2, the prime years, 1926 to 1936, because that has like that's his prime. I mean, that's like Call of Cthulhu, Shadow Over Innsmouth. Like that's when you get Color Out of Space, Dunwich Horror, The Dreams in the Witch House. Yeah, we all know these books, right? We all love these H.P. Lovecraft books.
I'm following.
Haunter of the Dark, The Shadow
Yeah.
Out of Time, bro. If you want some cosmic horror, this is it. I started the first volume of it with his like early work, but the book literally at the very beginning of the intro was like, if you want his like best work, stop listening to this, go to the second volume.
Wow.
But like, because I kind of wanted to listen to his early work because I was interested, but also I was like, I kind of want to hear Cthulhu like at the best, so I'm gonna do that first. It's really good. I love it.
Heck yeah.
He's H.P. Lovecraft, very racist, very xenophobic, but
When was he writing these?
the 20s.
Oh, okay.
20s and 30s was his
Gotcha.
prime years, yeah.
I didn't know if this was like a 70s situation or
No,
like
he died penniless. One of those guys. That,
one
like,
of those
was
guys.
Really wrote a bunch and just never could quite. He would put it into the Weird Tales magazine, and that's how he kind of got like a small group of friends that would like kind of wrote like him. But then he never really made like a ton of money with his writing until he was long dead.
Wow.
Until everybody got weird. Until
Yeah.
everybody got weird, and then they started liking it.
Yeah, so the people that were like, after he died, the little group of people that he did manage to hang out with that like wrote like him were like, we got to keep this, like, this myth, this Cthulhu mythos is so strong. And this Cthulhu mythos, and I mean, how many hundreds of different things use, you could look at so many different genres and stories, especially in sci-fi. I mean, people just put in Cthulhu in anything.
Yeah.
But then like there's smaller things too, like little details from his other stories. He's a great writer.
Yeah.
He just was really racist and really xenophobic. And he's just like every time he described a black person, it was always very upsetting. And you're like, every time you listen to it in the audiobook, you're like, oh, why would you?
Why that choice of words?
Like, why would you like? It's very that part's. And I can totally understand if that like completely throws people off from him. I'm okay with that. I'm just reading Shadow Over Innsmouth, which more feels like a xenophobic thing, where it's like the character's like afraid of like he's in this weird fishing village, and everyone's like before he gets there, people are like, "Don't hang out there. Everyone there is super weird, and they smell really bad." And he's like, "That's weird, but okay."
Yeah.
And he like sees these people, and they look really weird, and they smell really bad, and they look like fish people. They have like I mean, literally, it's just like their skin looks wet, like
Ew.
because they're turning into fish. That's the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Everyone in this village, they're worshiping a fish god, Dagon, real god, by the way, Byzantine Empire,
I was
Babylonians.
gonna say I've heard of that before.
What's
Then
up,
Whoa.
Dagon? It's real. The old ones, what's up? And shout out Cthulhu, Shagathroth. Anyway, and they worship this fish people, and the fish people bring them gold and whatnot, and then they start intermingling and mating with the land people, because the land people are going to become fish, and then they will go into the ocean, where they will live forever in this like glorious underwater city, the city of Raleigh, where Cthulhu is sleeping, and then he will awake and destroy humanity or whatever.
so it comes back to Cthulhu. Huh?
It always comes right back to Cthulhu, the sleeping one,
Huh.
the dreaming
Is
one, the dreamer.
H.P. Lovecraft highly challenged in terms of like banned? Has he ever been banned or?
I mean, maybe, but like it's not his stuff. It's not like racist.
Right.
It's not xenophobic itself, but like there are just like you can read it in the writing sometimes. Like there are certain ways he says things, and you're like, okay. He was very xenophobic and he was very racist. He didn't do much. He like couldn't hold down a job because
Yeah, that really kills your social.
he thought
life.
very highly of himself as a writer, but like he wasn't
If you
making a
just
lot
don't
of
like
money.
anybody, basically.
Yeah, and he like refused to get a job, even though he wasn't making a ton of money on his writing. I don't know. It's an interesting story, but yeah, he just was. Both his parents went insane. Like both his parents were admitted into institutions.
Oh.
It was his whole family as a whole. Like if you learn about him and you read these stories, and you're like, oh, I get it.
It
Like,
makes
I can
a little
see,
bit
I can see
more
the connections between
sense.
these like crazy. I don't know. It's very interesting, and he's very
Wow.
like New England and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Shadow Over Innsmouth was really good, and Gou Tanabe is just a great manga writer, illustrator. So
Do you think if he was an author today's time, he would be huge? Was he before his time, or was he just?
I mean, he kind of invented the cosmic horror genre.
Yeah.
So
Like,
would
was
he be
it too
around?
obscure
I don't even
during
know.
the
I don't even
time?
know what the world would look like without his work.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it would look like if he didn't exist until now. I mean, my God, David Cronenberg alone has made so much money off of adapting his stuff into movies.
Man, there's some really cool artwork associated with like his
I have check this out, bro.
beings that he came up with. There's some really cool artwork.
Cthulhu Mythos Encyclopedia.
Oh, that's tight.
That is cool.
Next time you're in here, Kenny, I'll show it to you. But yeah, it's dope. I have some stuff marked in it for reasons that are my own. And so why don't you go ahead and tell everyone about your other book, Trace? Let's
Okay.
just forget I said that.
So I'll jump to my